And so we're going to start now. Hi, I'm comedian Jeff Bodart. This is like the 10th time we've done this shit, and you're watching The Ego's Last Stand.
When I come around, got the whole thing wobbing.
And we're back for another episode of The Ego's Last Stand, the Quarantine Chronicles. I'm Josh Sardam, your host, and today it's kind of a special moment for me because I get to interview a guy that I've known for a couple of years now, and he's a guy that's helped me out a lot, especially down in his neck of the woods. He's always giving me advice, a good guy. So welcome to the show, Type Mike Randolph.
Hey, man. Hey, thanks for having me, Jay. How are you today, brother?
Man, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little while, and I remember when I first met you, you were with Benji Brown, right?
Yeah, man, I was touring with Benji Brown. We were doing clubs and colleges across the country. Yeah. And that's why I met you, of course, in Kentucky there. Yeah. But yeah, he's moved on, man. I moved up, he moved up. He's traveling now with Martin Lawrence.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah. So he still does some shows on his own, but he's mostly with Martin now. But when the quarantine's not on.
I tour with Martin if you ask me. I don't blame him.
Hey, can't be mad at that, man.
Oh, no. Hey, before all this nonsense happened, what were you getting into?
Hey, man, I was doing well. I actually had just got 2 dates myself with Martin Lawrence. Benji couldn't come to Orlando and Tampa, so they was going to fill me in, man. They canceled my shows like the day before each show. I was scheduled for Thursday and Friday, and they canceled me Wednesday and Thursday. They canceled the shows altogether, so not just me. But when they come back, and hopefully in the fall, I'll get a chance to do that. I have a live Facebook show called Lunch Laughs Live. And I also have something new that I call Neighborhood News that I do on Facebook now. And I've been kind of still doing the improvs, man. Just working it out, bro. Working it out.
Yeah, I mean, you've always been busy. That's just kind of Type Mike.
Yeah, man. Oh, you gotta eat, brother. I got daycare.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You had the kids there tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, man. I just taught my 7-year-old how to ride a bike.
Nice.
So yeah, man. So that's a great moment as a father. So it's clear that she knows how to mash the gas. She just don't know how to hit the brakes. She's doing the Fred Flintstone thing, man.
There goes those shoes.
There you go. Definitely, bro. So those shoes don't light up anymore. It's safe to say her shoes don't light up anymore.
She's dug them all the way out at this point, huh?
That's right. Okay. Caveman style.
What's that?
I said caveman style, man. Caveman style. The little girl I don't have to worry about. She's has the training wheels, but she just gets tired too quick. I try to burn them out, man.
Yeah. The tops probably still look good. It's the bottoms that are all messed up.
Oh yeah, they definitely look like rutabagas.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, we had this huge ass hill in our neighborhood that we'd all like tear our bikes down on, and I remember we were doing this thing where we could, like, in our child head, we thought we were doing something cool where we would go down the hill really fast, and we're seeing how much of our shoe we would eat off on the pavement, and I remember literally watching the bottom of the sole just coming off, like it was on a sander, and I went home. My dad was like, "What the hell happened to your shoes?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're doing this cool thing." And the look in his face, like, I didn't understand it then. Like, that's money you just burnt off on that hill, you dumbass.
Yes. So Uncle Josh does just like his nieces do.
Well, I tell you, I got a 2-year-old daughter now, and she.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's something else, man. And so dang smart. It drives me insane that how she picks up everything.
Absolutely. Are you still changing Pampers? Are you in the pamper changing phase?
Still there, yeah. She's just over 2, so we trying to potty train her, but she's just not there yet. But she will. She'll get there.
Is this your first child?
My first baby, yeah.
Baby.
My marriage came with 2 teenage boys.
I got you. So your first baby.
Yeah.
So it's not official till she pee on your best shirt.
Oh yeah. Well, he's pooped everywhere on me, so I guess that's got to
on your favorite shirt. It has to happen on your favorite shirt. You be a favorite shirt. I caught that twice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 and 3-year-old when they were younger. Yeah.
Yeah, and 2 girls or
Yeah, 2 girls, man. They're now 7 and 4.
And you still have a hairline. Wait till the teenage years come. That hairline.
No, man. I teach them now. I don't let them stress me, brother.
Yeah.
I let her wear those shoes till the bottom fall off, brother. I don't care. I don't care. And I do a lot of I'm real active. So I was in town, of course, before all this stuff happened. So I did a lot of lunches at the school and all of that, man. I went and saw all her friends and all of that. I go to daycare quite often. So I'm really active. And now that I'm single again, see, I can flirt with everybody. So, I'm finding out what's going on. That's right. So find out at the school who you need to flirt with, especially at the daycare. You flirt with the lady that takes the money.
Yeah. That's smart.
That's right. That's right. I don't care how she looks. She lets me pay late.
So anything happen crazy wise down in your neck of the way since this whole
man, it's I can't even say crazy. It's like they won't stay home, bro. We have beaches here. Of course, there's a lot of beaches here in Florida. So they closed the beach 2 weeks late, and now they opening up part of the beach now, saying you got to stay a distance. But it still look like Jaws out there, man. You ever seen the movie Jaws? Don't worry. Our numbers they're not in the top 10 in the country, but they will be in 2 weeks because nobody here is doing what they're supposed to do, man. Luckily, the good thing, Josh, is Florida's considered a retirement state. So a lot of the older folks in retirement homes, they're safer. But the people under 40, bro, they won't sit still. Everybody thinks they're essential.
That's why we have the whole stories about the Florida man. Because,
there
Florida
you go. We stay in the news, baby. We stay in the news, man. So if it's not an alligator or a deer, it's going to be Corona. We're going to stay in your news, brother. The bad rap we get, though, Josh, is people come to our state and do stupid stuff.
Right.
Like when you redo the research, they're like, Pennsylvania man in Florida gets bit by an alligator. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Standing
by the sign that said, don't feed the alligators. He got bit by an alligator.
Yeah, I know that all too well because you remember I used to work for Orange County.
That's right, brother. You used to be down this neck of the woods. You know how we get a bad rap, man.
Oh, yeah. They come down on vacation, leave on probation.
Every time. Right. Yeah, without any penetration. There you go.
But it's
come on vacation. There you go. And they all end up in the paper, and it clearly states they was on some libation.
That's true.
My man. How things going in Kentucky, brother?
I mean, they were going great, man. I was, I was working pretty steady at clubs, and I had just gotten back from Virginia, working in a club out there, and then I had 2 weeks solid play. That I was featuring at Comedy Off Broadway, and and then I had 5 more weeks after that, and everything just got canceled. Wow. Yeah.
Man, what are you doing in the meantime? Are you driving Uber like everybody else, or DoorDash?
No. I'm at home.
Instacart.
And doing a lot of writing, and I've been doing this stuff to talking with people and just touching base with all my friends and fellow colleagues and whatnot. And I just want to make sure everybody's good. And I thought it was a good idea to do the Quarantine Chronicles version of the podcast. So I thought that'd be kind of neat.
Hey man, I haven't started selling drugs yet, but I'm definitely considering it. I definitely could. I don't know anything about the drug game, but I'm definitely calling some unfamiliar characteristics about myself. I'm finding a lot out about myself.
Are you?
I'm willing to go the distance, buddy. I'm doing my research, Josh, trying to find just how much was keep me in jail and not prison.
Well, it's all about the price and the amount. So,
There you go. See, that's good to know.
Under 500.
Talking to an officer, that's good to know. I don't have the stomach for it, man. I think I'm going to sell like regular stuff like Pampers and bottled water and toilet paper.
Right. Yeah, and toilet paper you make a killing at.
Oh, yeah. Toilet paper, paper towels, and tissue. I'm going to stay in the paper game.
Yeah. Keep it biodegradable.
There you go. Biodegradable is good. There you go. Flushable and biodegradable.
That's right. That's too funny. So everything that you've been doing, are you still working around the Improv a lot?
I do, man. I've been fortunate. They just opened Miami Improv last year, maybe 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. Super Bowl was in Miami this year.
Right.
So they did a lot with the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale and the new Miami Improv in Doral. We have 4 improvs here in the state of Florida. So you try to get around to all of them and showcase. I was scheduled to go to Doral, man, down the Miami area. And, of course, Tampa's about 70 miles from me. So I always do that maybe once, twice a year. But Miami hadn't been open in 2 years, so everybody's trying to get down. It was brand new. They opened with Chris Tucker and somebody else, Bill Maher.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was trying to get down that way, man, just to get seen. They got new management, just to kind of stay on the grind, man.
Yeah.
These improv, they're independently owned. A lot of them, they're like franchises, like a McDonald's. But the ones in Florida, there's one guy that owns the 2 in mid-Florida, Central Florida, as they call it, and then the 2 in South Florida, well, 3 in South Florida now. I think about 5 of them: West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. And there's a guy that owns those 3. So you got to try to go down there and get in, because we're in with the guy that owns these 2 here.
Yeah. And it's such a pain in the ass my level getting into places, because they either got to know you, or you got to have somebody introduce you to kick open a door for you.
Absolutely, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's hard.
Oh, absolutely. Unless you're a big name. And even when I met you, man, I was with, like, at the time, he was kind of a mid-level name. He was newer to the circuit, but he had got 30 cities. And it's all about, somebody's telling me it's all about management, too. So if you with the right management team and they got enough big names on their roster, the clubs are more likely to let you in, because they want to get, Dave Chappelle or whoever, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seinfeld or whoever, and they're willing to give you a weekend because they're trying to get those guys there too.
Right.
So, it's all a part of a package deal. So it's who you know and who you with.
Yeah. Well, I started to look around for like management, and some people tell me don't do it till you're a name. Some people tell me no, you want to get on a Susie 10. I don't know what the hell to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's a great question, man. I have a good buddy in comedy, and there's 2 ways to do it that I saw. Roy Wood Jr. You familiar with Roy Wood?
I am.
Okay. Great guy from Birmingham, Alabama. We went to the same college. So he started maybe 3-4 years before I did, man. But he went and moved, left Alabama. He was doing prank calls on the radio. He left Alabama and moved to LA. He got in LA and made some moves and got some connections. And he was traveling with Jeff Foxworthy and not Ron White, but the other guy. This is your sign. Here's your sign.
Bill Engvall.
Bill Engvall. He was Bill Engvall's opener for about 3 or 4 years. So he showed me the ticket that I thought was amazing. You can get with a big name, and you can get with a management company, and every management company gonna get a percentage, but they are the ones that get you in the club.
Right.
So you go that route, try to get with a company and get with a big name, and somebody likes you, but you got to be in LA to do that. But that was 15, 17 years ago.
Right.
So now, with YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, there are other ways for you to be seen. Like the show you're doing now, somebody might see it and like it and decide they want to boom, boom, boom. But back then, you either had to be with the management company or you had to have a big name.
Yeah.
And it was harder. Yeah, you couldn't go viral back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing I tell all the newer guys, man, and something I just learned from the bigger guys, just keep putting out the content, bro. Like you're doing now, keep doing what you're doing. Even though we know a lot of people, but sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't.
Sure.
I remember my first time in LA, I put a guy's name out there, Josh, that wasn't favorable in LA.
Whoops.
And so it hurt me. They're like, oh, you know him? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, he sent me out here. Oh, okay, yeah, he owes me $300.
You're like, crap.
He was supposed to book me on something, you know what I'm saying? So I put out the wrong name. So then I had to go back and clean my own name up.
Yeah.
You never know, man. But you're better off doing it, I would say, because I'm an independent guy. And I don't have an agent. I would say you're better off doing it by yourself. All the work I'm getting is through somebody saw me on Facebook or Instagram, other comedians, and then the club see you doing stuff. They'll pick you. They'll you never know. You got to send your stuff in. I want to be a feature. And I've been working for Comedy Off Broadway. Man, there's no fucking roadmap to this.
Right.
Yeah, it's all, Often you call me, man. I don't want to overtalk you, but often you call me, and you got all these different guys that come through your spot there in Lexington. But look at them. Would they be where they are if they weren't who they were with?
Right.
Yeah, they kind of right there. There's nobody that's that much ahead of you, bro. Don't ever think that somebody's light years ahead of you. They went on a beer run for somebody, and now they on tour.
You know, we've seen
literally
guys come through that they really shouldn't be there.
right. And you saw how hard, man, when I came through and I was working and the things I had to do, and just for the guy that I was traveling with to go to another level. You know what I'm saying? But I took advantage of what I had, and it kept me working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you're fantastic on stage, man. You worked MC at the Improv for what, 2 years straight, just like
definitely, man. And I did the Improv, but I started out at C-D level clubs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of times, if there's anybody watching this, man, you know me, Josh. I don't play the color game. Black, white, orange, or purple. If you're a good person, you're just a good person.
Right.
I was the only black guy, and I was doing a lot of urban comedy at an all-white club for 2 years in a row. I made them adapt to my style of comedy. I didn't change my jokes, bro. And a lot of times I lost them, but eventually they came along, and eventually I became more like them, and they became more like me, and it helped me to travel around the country.
Yeah, well, talk about that, man. That, like when you were first getting out the door.
Oh man, okay, so yeah, when I first started here in Orlando, man, there's a place called the Why Not Lounge.
I know the Why Not Lounge.
You know the Why Not. So in the 70s and 80s, the Why Not was the #1 single spot in the country. Playboy magazine came to Altamont Springs, Florida, and started interviewing people. It was that hot. Yep. Okay, so you're talking, and they did comedy on Friday and Saturday night. So when I first got going, man, people like Carrot Top was there. Daniel Tosh, you know, DT, the DT Effect, Comedy Central. Daniel Tosh, not necessarily Wayne Brady. I didn't see him. How about Larry the Cable Guy? Used to swing through there. All those guys are originally Orlando guys, and then they moved to the West Coast.
Right.
So I'm in there hosting. The open mic was Tuesday night, and I went up and did 3 minutes, and I was supposed to do 5, but I did 3, and I rocked it. Thank the Lord. So fortunately, the booker was in there, and he's like, "Hey man, how'd you like to host on Tuesday nights?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I love it. Why not?" You know what I'm saying? So I hosted for a couple weeks. Like, okay, I didn't even know nothing about pay or nothing like that. I didn't know I was supposed to be getting paid. So every Tuesday for a couple weeks, I got French fries and a drink, and I didn't drink liquor, so I got like a soda.
Right.
So after about 3 or 4 weeks, about a month in, man, he goes, "How would you like to host the weekend?" I was like, "I love it." Still no pay. I was like, wait a minute, I'm working 3 nights every week and I get no pay. This don't make sense. So what I did was, and back then it was great exposure. So he started giving me $50 for the Tuesday night, and then the Friday and Saturday I didn't get paid for maybe 6-8 months, and it was only because the feature would start being late. So they ended up cutting the feature out, and they started doing just a 2-man show. So I hosted and did 20 minutes up top for 2 years straight at the Why Not. But man, I met every cowboy. I met everybody. Grandma Lee that just passed away, that was on a Star Search. Grandma Lee, right. America's Got Talent. Yeah, she just passed away last week. I met Grandma Lee, Uncle Ray, all the big name people you can think of during the late 90s and 2000. Like they were the joint in the 80s and 90s. I met them in the early 2000s when I first started my career, man. And I don't take it for granted at all. Any crowd, I think I can do corporate, urban, mainstream. There were guys most nights in that Why Not, Josh, they had their name on the belt buckle. Yeah, that kind of honky tonk Tennessee type stuff, man. But they end up laughing. As long as I can get them on my side, man, I got them laughing. So I was encouraged, bro. I just, I wanted a chance, and I didn't learn the business part. And it took me. I opened up a Cedric the Entertainer. I won the Bud Light comedy competition here in Orlando, and he was at the time he was on Bud Light tour. And he goes, "Man, I can't give you any comedy advice because anything I tell you joke-wise is going to make you more like me. So I don't need another me. You need to learn show business." He said, "And what you need to know about show business is the word show is shorter than the word business. So you need to know more about the business and then worry about your show. That's important, but know about the business." And from that point on, man, I started finding out, hey, how much I should be getting paid instead of saying, what what y'all gonna pay me or whatever. Find out what the total budget is. Hey, what's y'all budget for feature? What's your budget for the headliner? Because people will call and say, hey, what's your price? And you'll be nervous about giving them a number, and just say, hey, well, no, what's your budget for? I can remember distinctly, my man, and I think I talked to you this early on. I short sold myself probably for 2 years, maybe 3. I didn't realize what type of talent I had and where I was on the comedy scale because I wasn't traveling around enough to see other comedians.
Right.
And I was charging people like $150, $200 when I probably could have been charging $750, $800.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here struggling. I'm wondering why I'm struggling, but I underbid myself. And it took somebody to tell me, man, we was prepared to pay you $1,200. You only wanted $250. And I was like, dang, for real?
Dang.
And then people don't think about that. If you see any young comics looking, man, think about your travel expenses, the wear and tear on your car, a hotel. All of those things need to come in with your price. Not just you coming to pay to perform. You got to get there. You got to get back. You got to spend the night, whatever. You got to, all that riding around in your car in the middle of the night, bro. I did that for years.
Yeah.
Not cool. Just paying your dues, but it's things that you don't have to do either.
Sure.
Right now, man, I knock $100 off my price just so somebody get me a nice room, or at least give me the hotel money, so I can find my own room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And with today's Airbnbs, I mean, it's definitely an option.
Say it again.
I said in today's Airbnbs, it's definitely an option.
Hey, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Airbnb is always a good thing, man. That's new though.
Because I mean, like, there's been some comedy condos that I've been into that it's just like, oh my god.
Don't do it. Something I learned, bro. Also, and I pass it on to you if you're not already doing it. Bring your own sheets and pillow and pillowcase.
Right.
I know it sounds cheesy, bro, but bring your own stuff because who knows who was in that condo and who knows what they did.
Yeah.
And who knows who cleaned it last.
It's
the one in Tampa. Wait till you get to the Tampa Improv. Yeah, wait till you get to the Tampa Improv, and it looks like 1963. You remember the old TV show I Dream of Jeannie?
Oh yeah.
That couch is in there.
It's plaid.
Yeah, with the same spots from the astronauts. I promise you, man. They just it's an iron in there and an old couch and a bed with a mattress that you'd never get in. You might as well sleep on the floor, bro. But sometimes they upgrade and put you in a hotel. It just depends on who you are. You know how it goes, man. I learned with Cheryl Underwood. I was with Cheryl Underwood one weekend in Tampa, and they had the hotel on the flyer. Like, I'm saying, hey, Cheryl Underwood at our Improv this weekend, and sponsored by the Marriott on West Shore or something like that. And she goes, do y'all have a hotel that I'm staying at on this flyer? Okay, I'm changing hotels. So I wasn't even in the Marriott. I was in like a Quality Inn. So that's when I was mad because I wasn't even in the Marriott. And she told, no. They ended up putting her in the Peabody, bro.
Yeah. Right.
So something that, nobody knew about or whatever. But where you are in the game shows like where they want you to stay. So if you're still in the comedy condo, we're still working it out. You're not quite where you want to be if they throw you in the condo, man.
So,
yeah, they don't care about your well-being.
You gotta put butts in the seats. Yeah.
That's right. Hey, that's what to do, man. It's all about that, putting the butts in the seats. And but a lot of clubs, man, what I'm learning is they'll take a chance on you one time. They'll put they'll give away a few tickets to get you in there if you can keep people coming back. Because they just want people in there. If you can hold their attention for the hour and a half, they'll invite you back, bro. I'm noticing now that comedy clubs here down my end are going more towards the internet guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they get people in there, not material-wise and comedy-wise, they're not as strong, but they're getting people in the seats.
Yeah.
Are y'all doing that up there?
Yeah, we've seen some flux in. Like, of course, I've met Darren Knight, Southern Mama.
Yeah.
He is not funny on stage at all. And I know he's a fan and he's going to see this podcast, but he is not funny on stage at all. Matter of fact, that whole stable that's underneath that same because
wow.
there's a stable of them, and they all come through like at one time. They pack the place out always,
right?
But it's horrible. I mean, it's like Catfish Cooley and there's another I can never remember his name, but he's always
no.
in there. and he thinks he's like this big shit. I guess he made money on YouTube or whatever, and that's great.
Right.
YouTube videos and stand-up comedy are entirely two different things.
Two different.
There's no way to just, oh wait, that didn't come out right. Let's rewind and do this again. No.
Right. No.
One shot out your mouth. That's it.
Right. No editing. No editing in the stand-up.
You better be able to do it good the first time.
Right. What I suggest, man, for any of those internet guys that might be watching this too, go ahead and host the show and then have some stronger comedians feature our headline for you. That way you kind of in the middle, you kind of can get your bearings a little bit, but, learn our game before you kind of get it. And what's a great thing right now is with everybody home, more stand-up comics are going to this internet stuff. And we're doing 10, 15 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes, either one, of live comedy. And now you can see the difference. You ain't got to edit nothing. You funny now, it's straight material. It's a different vibe, man.
It sure is.
It's a different vibe. But now the varsity is on the court.
And hosting a show for one of these YouTube guys would be great for them because they're going to be able to put the butts and say, hey, come on out. They can even call it their show. They're the host of the show, and they can practice doing stand-up comedy in front of a live crowd, but then they can actually entertain the crowd by having real comics with them. I mean, it's smart to do it that way, but their ego is just so big. I mean, it's unbelievable. Andrew Kahn, that's his name.
Andrew Kahn.
Check out this knucklehead. You know, in Comedy Off Broadway upstairs at the green room, how they have all the signatures on the walls and whatnot. And you're talking about real comics, good comics. Not only this guy signed his name ginormous on the wall, like you're talking foot and a half letters. And he signed it in 2 different places. And it's like, dude, you are not a comic. First off, ask next time.
Don't do that, brother.
It my ass. He came through one time. He's sometimes I take tickets at the door. He comes time, and I know who he is, but I'm just completely ignoring it. He's with like 2 people, and he looks at me. He goes, "I'm not performing tonight." And I was just like, "Why would you perform?" What are you talking about?
Who cares?
Jesus.
Like we're gonna beg him to perform. That's funny. Yeah, it's a lot of ego, man, and that unfortunately gets in a lot of people's way, Josh.
It does.
You have to humble yourself, bro, and be as quiet and listen. Humble but aggressive. I will say that, humble but aggressive. You don't want to miss a turn either, but you don't want to be the guy that people don't want to work with either. Right.
You got to pay attention. Try to take care of people. I mean, know that you're going to butt heads with somebody. It's just going to happen. I got people that don't like me just because of me, and that's fine. And I try to stay out of their way. I try not to get any type of confrontation with them because I know they don't like me. I have no problem with them, but that obviously doesn't matter.
That's on them. That's on it. But it's going to be like that, man. And one thing I admire about you, you're not a people pleaser. You're real easy to walk up to, man. You want to be one of the good guys in the game now, man. I'm happy to call you my friend. I'm not just saying that because I'm on your podcast, but I think that you have the right attitude towards comedy. You came to Florida. I gave you a couple of things, and you brought people to. Hey, he contacted me. You're doing it the right way. A lot of times, guys that starting out, they just walk up to a big name on a show and go, "Hey, I want to do 5 minutes show." Okay, that's not the way to do that. You done bypass the club and everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of guys, but they don't know. They don't know, Josh.
Yeah, I know it, man, and I really appreciate you saying that. The fact of the matter is, like you befriended me, and you gave me your contact info, and you told me if I need anything, and you did that for me. And someone comes up and says, "Here's my number. If you have a question, call me." I'm like, okay, text message from me.
No, man, because I've been that guy, and like I said, it was a lot for me, man. Black, white, purple, orange, Puerto Rican, Mexican, it didn't matter to me. Clearly, I'm a black dude, but I work in a world with all different genres, all different nationalities and races, and I just feel like, let's just go forward, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just, if anything that can move us forward. And I learned a long time ago, the more people you help, the more help you get.
Absolutely.
So you didn't seem to be a jerk to me. You seem to be a good guy, and I was willing to help, man. I didn't mind. And like I said, I've been where you at, and you sitting there, you wondering, should I say this to this person? Should I say that? And I've been around headliners that don't talk to me, and then it gets even worse. Don't tell this joke, and don't tell that joke, and don't. and cut your time 5 minutes, and I didn't like that last joke, and like, and I was featuring when you met me, so I'm like, oh no, I can't be like that, bro. I know what it is.
Right.
Somebody knew you never met them, and they from out of town. Good thing is you have been in Orlando, so we had something to connect about.
Right.
But yeah, man, no, it's no use to being a jerk to nobody, man. Comedy has room for everybody, bro.
I agree.
You never know where you're gonna go from this point. You know what I'm saying? It's room for everybody. You may get a big time radio gig. You may get a movie deal. You never know. I was this close away from being in Bad Boys, the first one.
Oh.
I was in Miami when they was taping it, bro. And the producer to the movie came to the comedy show. I'll never forget it as long as I live, and I hope she watches this. I was featuring Felisa Lampanelli.
Oh, really?
And she went and told the owner I was too funny at the comedy club. He's too much. He does too much stuff about black people and white people. Mind you, she's the white lady that does all the racial stuff.
Right.
She pisses everybody off. I said, oh, okay, no problem. So the next night, the producer came back, but they paid me, but they sent me home because they was like, oh, you're too strong for her, da 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 da. So the producer picks the dude that ended up hosting the show. He said, I wanted the guy that was in the middle, the black guy from Orlando. The host called me. He's like, man, they was looking for you. They wanted to put you in this movie. And that, it wasn't Bad Boys then. It wasn't the franchise it is now.
Right.
But I said, man, but had I toned it down a little, or had I changed something, maybe. But maybe then again, it wasn't meant for me to be that. They ended up picking the host. The host gets a small role in the movie. How about he's the rental car agent to Dan Marino? When they stole Dan Marino's car in Bad Boys 1, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, they chasing the bad guys in this Cadillac, this new Cadillac CTS or whatever. He was the guy that freaking that was renting the car to Dan, was trying to sell the car to Dan Marino in the Bad Boys movie. That was supposed to be me. But then again, man, I'm looking at my career like so many other things can happen. You just don't know. You be that close, Josh.
Yeah.
And you could piss somebody off or whatever. You never know. You never know, man.
That's you always try and treat everybody you can the best way you can. And I mean, there's a club in Louisville where the current owner now, she's only owned it for a couple years, but she's worked there for like 23 years. She was a server for the longest time. And now she owns the place. The Comedy Off Broadway, Jordan was a bartender. Then he was the manager. Now he owns it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, you never know who you're talking to. That's why you always got to make sure you treat everybody with respect.
Absolutely.
I think one of my advantages is I'm not a young guy. I don't have a big chip on my shoulder. I've already passed that part of my life, so I don't.
Right. You got kids now, man. You got kids now. No hairline. You're a perfect comic, bro. You're the perfect comic, bro. You don't care no more. Who cares? I care about looks. I don't care about looks. No, I'm alive. I'm just happy to be alive.
Right.
You're staying at home.
I told my wife a dad joke the other day. It's one of my quarantine jokes. My daughter had a blowout. I mean, it was bad. A 2-year-old blowout. And
right.
I said, honey, I need more than 2 hands to take care of this. So we're in her bedroom. We're changing the diaper. I said, this is a Mexican poop. And she goes, why is it a Mexican poop? I said, because it went over the wall.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Because it went over the wall. The kids in general, man, and you never know. And they will eat everything, bro, and they explode, brother.
Yeah.
And there's no better place to poop than a brand new diaper.
That's right. I don't understand the whole everything has to go in her mouth. Like she had her mouth on the corner of my desk. And I said, get that out of your mouth. And she backs off and then she puts her tongue on it and then runs down the side of it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, you lucky, man. You wait. They're going to start playing the poop game on you and all kind of stuff. It's going to happen to you, man. It's going to happen to you. You want to be a guy. I've been a guy the whole time. I've been trying, man, just to be cool around my girls. But now I'm noticing they poop and they burp. They belch like, man, like my daughter will say, come here type stuff. Come here, Dad. I'm like, that's not ladylike. That's good, but that's not ladylike. Don't do it.
That was like an 8, but that's not ladylike. Don't do that.
But that's not ladylike. Let's not do that, little lady. Yeah, so I raised them. I said, princess or queen would not do that.
That's right.
But daddy does it. But daddy's a king. Kings can do that. Queens can't do it.
All right,
It's
I'm
all.
gonna wrap this up, man.
Okay.
It's been awesome talking to you, man. Hey, real quick, you got what's your social media? Why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Tight Mike Comedy on everything, man. Tight Mike Comedy. TIGHTCOMEDY. COMEDY on everything. TIGHTMIKECOMEDY on everything, man. Tight Mike Comedy. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm not on TikTok. I'm too old. I'm like you, man. I'm too old for the fucking TikTok.
I actually just got on TikTok.
What? Get off, man. Get off of TikTok.
No,
Unless you're on with the kids. Get off of TikTok, man.
Hear me out. Dusty Slade, familiar with Dusty Slade?
Yes.
Okay, so Dusty and I just had a show 2 days ago. I had him on here interviewing him, and he says that he's on TikTok, and I go, Dusty, because Dusty's just, he's 30-something years old at this point, and he goes, no, he goes, it's actually my best social media. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I'm putting 1-minute videos of my stand-up stuff I don't even use anymore, but it's like 30 seconds to a minute of videos.
Right.
And showed it to me, and literally he is getting thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views. Yeah, and so I just started it myself. I started making little videos and of some of my stuff and putting it on there, and it's gaining traction. So I mean, any way you can shoot the bear, right?
Hey man, I'm gonna try it now. You got me encouraged. I'm gonna go for a week and I'll check back with you, let you know how my TikTok is going. I'm gonna dance or something on TikTok and see if I can get some material out there.
There you go.
I'm gonna try it out, man. I'm gonna try it out.
All right, Mike. Great.
Hey man, thanks for having me, big man. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
Okay, take care. Sorry about the delay, man, but thanks again.
Don't worry about it. You're good. For Tight Mike, I'm Josh Sardam. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Hey guys, hope you liked the video, and if you like the show, make sure you throw a like down there somewhere. There should be a like, and there's a subscribe button over here.
And hit the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell, and check us out, man. Stay in touch with us. We're always putting out videos every week, and it should be a lot of fun, right?
Bright as a letter.
Yeah, bright as rain, bright as the mail. Thanks, guys. That should work.